Every day, something I've learned from BFI, I feel makes an impact on someone's life.
It's just investing today for tomorrow. Everybody can bring their talents to the table. Then they all become part of the process. People are working together.
You can't do it alone. It's a community project. You have to be knowledgeable about what's going on around in your community. So for several reasons. One, so that you're not duplicating services, and also that you're looking at gaps in services so that you're ensuring that your families have that nice seamless transition.
I think it was really important for my transition home, knowing that if I encountered any issues along the way, everybody who I talked to would be educated and telling me the same thing. So struggling and having to speak to telehealth, knowing that they were giving me appropriate information, coming back for follow-up with the public health nurses and them checking latches, and knowing that they were well educated, that if I had any questions or concerns that they were appropriately answered. I think it was really important not only dealing with the nurses in the hospital who are well educated, but everybody else out in the community. I think the baby-friendly designation is incredibly important. It's something that it can empower moms. It's something that can help develop a strong bond between mom and baby. It's something that can help moms be successful in the long run instead of breastfeeding for 2 days and giving up because they don't have the supports.
It's the cracks that people fall into that make problems worse. And one of those cracks is not knowing where to go for help. And so that's something that we're working on, is trying to fill in those cracks. So it's really clear to mom, if she's having a challenge, what does she do next? So early on, we educate mom about how to access care and how important it is that she just come in and get some help, as opposed to waiting.
Well, when we see new dyads at the 48-hour discharge visit, we do share those community resources with them and explain how they can be accessible to them in the times that they aren't able to see Kim or myself. Well, the breastfeeding buddies especially, I think, is what I would consider to be that peer support. It's a group of moms who, from the community, that provide that hands-on support as well. There's oftentimes a mom there who's willing to demonstrate latch position. And
the other thing with breastfeeding buddies, they're multicultural, and I think it's really nice that they, like if a mom's having twins, they'll hook her up with a breastfeeding buddy that has had twins so that there's something in common to talk to them about. And the more support they receive from various people, the better, I think.
Knowing that the support is there, that just further supports that family and meeting their breastfeeding goals.
Particularly with the Laleshi League group, which I didn't even know existed until a public health nurse told me that I could attend this meeting.
Public health, healthy baby, healthy children, which can be either phone or visit. And really, I encourage women to take advantage of that, not shy away from getting them involved. The representative from Healthy Baby, Healthy Children is always circulating on the unit and saying hi to lots of moms, and it's a great free resource. Also, our public health breastfeeding clinic, which I think is a wonderful resource as well, and I really encourage women to make use of that. Make an appointment if as needed. And we often will facilitate that directly from the hospital. The nurses usually help to facilitate a referral directly there as needed, and with local lactation consultants that can be hired privately as well.
The peer-to-peer support groups that I attended were the most helpful for me in maintaining the exclusive breastfeeding. I felt so inspired by all of the peer-to-peer support. The fact that there was consistent messaging across the board was paramount in my success in doing it. And so I can only imagine that the more successful we are, or our organizations are, in providing consistent messaging to moms, especially new moms, the more successful they will be.
I actually had to utilize calling telehealth with some questions regarding breastfeeding. It was really neat to get a call back from a telehealth nurse who was actually experienced with breastfeeding and could appropriately answer my questions and kind of ease my stress a little bit. But when she called back and gave me some advice and some answers, it actually ended up being the same thing that the lactation consultants had told me a couple days later when I got to meet with them in the office.
We actually made can I have my pamphlets? Pamphlets in 9 different languages about the importance of breastfeeding. Our doctors are going to hand this out in one of the first visits, ask them to read it in their language, and also English as well. And then when they come back, they're going to actually talk about breastfeeding as well. And our midwives actually love this whole idea. This one is in Amharic. So this mom said, I breastfeed Kumba because it is convenient. I can feed her anywhere and anytime. And we actually put it in Amharic. And we normalized breastfeeding. This is a normal behavior. And we actually have it in all the obstetricians' offices. We have it in all the pediatricians' offices. And it's also, the midwives actually went nuts with this and took every one of the 13 posters and put it in both of theirs. And so did some family practitioners wanted it as well. And this is actually Arabic. So this mom states, I breastfeed Sarah because it reduces the risk of breast cancer. So this is why our moms are breastfeeding. And we're putting it out there and normalizing it into our community.
Every time I'm seeing a baby, there still are little things that we can do that are baby friendly that I think are going to make a difference in that baby and that mother's life in terms of the relationship they have with that baby and the health of that baby going forward. And things that we can do in a very positive way and in a supportive way.
BFI is really about changing a community and helping to change the community of healthcare providers. It's very exciting.
We're all working together. Everybody's handing out the same consistent information and normalizing it and bringing it home.
Ideally, a mom would be surrounded by support. Ideally, she would have family members and friends who have successfully breastfed that can help. But this ideal doesn't always happen. And what we're trying to do through different partnerships is to tighten up that circle around mom, to create that safety net so that when and if she does have challenges, it's really clear where she can go for support.